Hey there, Wargamers, Justin here, Paint here. Today, got another unboxing video for you guys. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel, and as we continue here, I've got a bunch of boxes that were left over here, that were shipped. Were here when I got back from Battletech that I need to dig through for the NOVA2023 Grinder unboxings, like the contents. And today, I've got a box from Bob, Lord17c, from Discord. He sent me some minis. I had already opened it, but I didn't look at the minis. And we're going to get into that today. So, he has sent us some minis. I think this is packing material. Make sure there's nothing bad there. We got us a little note. We'll check that in a minute. And let's get to the goodies. So we got 1, a 2, a 3. Oh, he sent more than 4. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bob painted 2 lances. Bob painted 2 lances. That's too many. That's too many, Bob. It's too many. It's too many. That said, we are going to check these out and see what he sent, but I do want to check out his note first. So, he left me a note, and let's see what he says. All right. Let's see if I can sound cool. All right. Microphone's in my way. All right, so he says, "Dear Commander Cloud, I have heard of your plight, and I am sending you a lance of mechs in your colors to assist you in your efforts to fight the invaders. I have included one of my personal favorite, the Crusader. It is a good mech, and has served me well for many years. You will also find a lance of Draconis Combine mechs. These I have used to train my pilots for years, and would serve in the training of your new pilots as well. They have been fully repaired, and are in good shape as a Draconis mech can be. If I was forced into one of these, the Dragon would be my pick. It's one of the few good designs they have built. May you fare well in the future wars. Bob Smith, Commander, Bob's Marauders." P.S. Bob says, "You never paint for yourself, so I figured you could use a lance to bolster your ranks. I have not based them due to not being able to match your bases. I hope I got the colors correct. No decals, as I didn't know your decal scheme. All models have a gloss varnish to assist with protecting and shipping. If you want to dual coat over them, that will take off the shine." Thank you, Bob. This was a pretty cool little flavor added. And we'll have to determine if you want to be a Dragon pilot or if you want to be a Crusader, because you listed 2 mechs. Yeah, very cool. So, right out the gate before we get into these, one of the things that I usually do is I don't modify minis people send me, because you have given me a piece of you, a piece of your time, and I don't want to take away from that and add my efforts to someone else's work, unless it's agreed upon ahead of time where it's a collaborative thing. I don't like to do that. In this case, I'm going to make a slight exception though. If they are gloss coated, I'll probably hit them with a matte varnish just because I think that will be unified for all the minis in the box, because the majority of these are varnished with matte. So yes, if I was going to do any work on top of it though, and I was going to try and match decals, them already being gloss varnished was a good idea, but I am going to keep them stock the way that you sent them, because I think that that's important to remember what someone did for me. I don't want to feel like I enhanced someone's work. Not that there's anything bad that sounds not good, or maybe I'm worried it sounds not good, but less about enhancing. It's not a good term. I don't want anyone to ever feel like their work is valued differently because I did brushwork on it. So, like, hypothetically, if you painted something that's really good, and then I paint something on top of it, and now we have to share credit, unless we agreed to do a collab, I feel like I'm doing you a disservice by taking credit away from you, if that makes sense. So, TLDR, I leave these stock because the focus should be on you and what you provided. So in this case, I'll probably matte varnish them, and that'll be good. I might base them. I might do basing. If you did indeed leave them unbased, I'll probably do a quick basic basing just to, so there's something on them. But in general, you get where I'm going. So, I'm going to do a quick cursory glance at these so that I can see what is what kind of visually through them to sort them, because I know we've got some Draconis Combine. They're quick red, so I can see through. And I'll sort these out to, I think what he did was a Merc Lance and Draconis Combine. So Mercs. So we'll do the Combine first. So let's see what the first mini is that we are going to pull out here. Boop, boop, boop. He also shipped them because he wanted to make sure I got them while I was at the con. I was like, Bob, I'll be back in time. These will be here before Nova. Like, that's okay. Oh, he did do decals on these. Okay. Maybe it was the Merc ones that he didn't. Very cool. All right, so this, I think, is the dragon. The dragon. All right, so this is very cool. So we've got basing. We got the basing. Start with that. Nice bright green next to the red. Very flashy. Kind of get a retro Games Workshop vibe. Nothing wrong with that. What is it? I think Goblin Green was their big deal. I think it used to be the trim on the bases or something. But yeah, immediately the nice contrast between the red and the basing. So that's cool. Got some green in the barrel tips, which is cool. Got some decal work. And, you know, we got the dragon dead center on the top of the dragon's head here. And yeah, I dig it. Very cool. Nice clean work. And there's no denying that this right here is a Draconis Combine Battle Bro. And I think this is the one that you said that you would be piloting. So yeah, I know you mentioned a Crusader, but I think these Mercs are slightly different. I think you got a different concept for what you were doing there. So yeah, very, very cool. Boom. All right, so got the dragon for the Caretans. Next up, let's see what we got here. This one, I should have saved this for last. I could tell what this was when I was pulling the packing off. I could tell it was an Atlas. Should have saved them for the end. Okay. All right, so same as the dragon. We've got the contrast in the basing with the mechs. This is very bright and vibrant. I kind of imagine maybe if these guys are in like feudal Japan or something. Is feudal the right word? I don't know. Japan. Feudal just sounded cool and fancy. I'm not sure if they actually fit. It seems like somewhere in Japan land, wherever the Draconis Combine forces would be in the year 3050s or 3150 or whatever. Maybe Japan isn't called Japan in Battletech. I don't know, but I assumed. So yeah, like I imagine like a cool garden and like the standard Japanese, like kind of papery windowed stuff in the wood, and then the people in there, was it a kimono? Is that what it's called? The little like robes. I imagine like just outside of view of the mech, there's like little traditional Japanese architecture, and with the bright colors, that's where my brain goes. If you guys don't look at minis and start trying to think of a narrative or a story that's happening in the background, you're doing yourself a disservice. Think about that when you look at a mini. What's the story that's unfolding? What's happening just outside of your peripheral vision? So, dig it. Got our barrels with a little bit of color in there. Got our skull face, which is standard fare for our Atlas. Yeah. And yeah, I think I see what you're talking about with them being a little glossy. I think a quick matte coat at the shop will knock that down, and yeah, we'll call it good on that. And I don't feel like that's taking away from your work, more so than just unifying everything. I know you said that you did the varnish for the protection during shipping, so I don't mind putting the matte on top, and I won't feel like I'm taking anything away. So very cool. I'm always a big fan of the Atlas, or sometimes I call it the Fatlas. It's a big boy. It's an iconic Battletech mech, and you can't go wrong having an Atlas and an Inner Sphere Force. And if you're Steiner, you get 4 of them. It's just what you do. All right, let's see if I can get this open without breaking it. What's this guy? Oh, we got a little blackjack. All right, nice little medium mech. So far, I think the dragon's a heavy. I know he's an assault. I think the blackjack is a medium. Should be a medium. So again, unified force here. Got our reds and silvers. Got our greens for the lasers and the barrels. Got our decals, which is cool. I missed this one. Yeah, I was looking for his. These were on the leg, and I was like, well, surely put a number. Yeah, we got our 97 there. So yeah, very cool. Yeah, I like the blackjack. I think playing the Harebrained Schemes Battletech has me a little biased for liking the blackjack. Also, Tex Talks Battletech, where he's like the blackjack, and he gets this kind of grumbly voice. And if you don't watch him, if you're watching this, who am I kidding? You watch Tex. If you somehow don't, look him up. Tex Talks Battletech. Fantastic. Like that's that brain fuel when you're trying to work on a project. You throw that on the background, and you get into the zone when you're painting. And he's got a really good video that talks about the blackjack. So finally, we'll see what we've got to wrap up the Caretan forces here. All right. Boom. We got a commando. So this is going to be our light. So we've got a light, medium, heavy, and assault. Again, got our decal rocking out there. Yep, and he even managed to get a little tiny one on the shoulder. So we've got a Kurita decal. I like how some of the... let me grab my X-Acto blade here. Some of the grass is kind of fallen over from shipping. We'll just scrape that. There we go. Get that kind of to stand up. Look a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, so once you get that swaying back, because it was kind of pushed down, it looks better. And I think I like when you look from certain perspectives, it kind of covers the feet and it helps unify the model into the base. So I really like it. Nice. This also forces me and people in the grinder to be rocking some different minis as well, because when it comes to my choices, I'm a big fan of the Locust for the light. I think there's probably a nice following of people part of the Locust cult who like that mech. So yeah, this gets me thinking about and using some different units as well. So very cool. And Mr. Bob, thank you. This is very awesome. As a recap for the Cretans before we get into the second lance, we've got the Commando as the light, and we've got the Blackjack as the medium. We've got our Dragon here as the heavy, and then our Atlas as the assault. The big ol' boy, the Dragons ain't nothing. I was trying to rhyme and I failed. The Dragons will deploy. That's it. That's all I got for rhyming. That said, let's go ahead and get these guys off to the side here, prepared to join the grinder box of mechs, and we'll check out the mercs that Bob has sent. What I think has occurred here is I think Bob is trying to paint these up to match my custom mercenary company. So for Furia Phasma or Iron Ghosts that I've been working on, and I got a feeling there's going to be a black with a metallic stripe and then a solid color on the side. We'll see if that is indeed what he was doing, which would explain why he mentioned base matching, which I'm not terribly worried about. He could have done what he wanted. I might throw some basing on here just to get him done. I've got a couple different basing schemes represented in my Merc company because they're from different eras and different people. So Teal Security from Twitch painted up a lance for me, and he did like urban basing. Joe painted up a lance for me, and he did like kind of desert basing. I've got some of my own minis that have more of a Martian basing because I really like the red. I think it contrasts really well with the black armor. And then the new ones, I've got a whole company of them sorted out and ready to go for my lore, my named characters and stuff that I've been working on or planning to work on. And those will probably have a unified basing as well. So across all of that, we'll have 4 different basing schemes. So it's not the end of the world. So I think this one, at first glance, peek it through, I think this is the Crusader. Let's see if we can't get through that. Yep, and he's, yeah, I can already see he's definitely went after one of my Merc paint schemes because I've got a whole thing going on. Yep, sure did. Yep, that's exactly what I did. Yeah, let's pull that out. Boom. So there we go. There we go. Look at that. Boom. And that would explain why in his little note he mentioned decals, because I don't have official decals made for these. I'm working on a concept. I don't want to show it on screen yet. I have a custom icon Austin worked with me on, and then I'm working on getting some icons for each individual group from the company. Let me give you a quick rundown for what these are and how my company works. So my mercenary company... think of a triangle, right? This is not the symbol. This isn't how it played out, but this is how the structure works. So new guys at the bottom, they come in one of 2 of the lances, or well, not say lances, 2 of the wings of the company. So we've got the ones that are blue and the ones that are red. These are the not grunts, not entry-level plebs, but they're the newer recruits or the fresher faces to the company, right? They form the bottom, the base of the pyramid, the backbone. As you move up, so blue and red, so blue stripe. If they're part of the other company, red stripe. At the top, as they get promoted, blue and red makes purple. So this is a lot of our command staff, lance leaders, officers, people who have been promoted within the company, right? So that's R3. And then the core that brings them all together is the full-on mercenary command structure for Furia Phasma, and they are green. The green is the outlier. So for my forces, we'll have way more of these of these than these, and more of these than these. So it gets smaller as you get to the core of the command structure, and it creates a pyramid. Not that that means anything for iconography, but so you understand why the colors are the way they are. If you've got purple, you've been promoted from one of these two. If you're green, then you're inside the pyramid that's being protected and holding all of that together. So that's kind of how the structure works and the color scheme, and that's why he's got this here, so he'd be part of the bottom core of the pyramid, the base, the foundation that everything rides on top of, the shoulders, as it were, that the company stands on. So very cool. I dig this Crusader. He got the scheme correct. Black on the left side, a metallic color or stripe of choice here, generally different shades of gold or silver. Then a solid color here, in this case blue. Teal Securities is the outlier. He got away with teal because it's a unique offshoot, because, you know, I let him do it. You know, he did what he wanted. I also changed to initially each lance was going to be unique with a color of choice, and I toned it down so it wasn't like a rainbow army. And then there's some individuality in my company that'll be allowed, so you could do like flames or checker patterns or small things that, like, how's a mercenary XO or leader going to walk up and be like, hey, you got a pinup girl or a pinup Canopian cat lady, or insert whatever, you know, bullshit you want to do. How's he going to come up and say, hey, Merc, you got iconography on your mech, you know, take it off? Like, they're mercs. It's kind of like what is it, Enola Gay, I think I said it right, one of the B2s. You know, it had like the pinup girl on the side of the plane, like the crew and the pilots painting that stuff. There was probably a time when the military might have not liked it, I imagine, and then they just, you know, the grunts and stuff did what they did for morale, and if morale was up, they performed better, and they, you know, your command staff probably turned a blind eye. So in my head, at least in theory, I don't know if any of that shit's true, it's just me speculating, but in theory for me, within reason, some extra little flair that breaks the mold with the small customizations a mech warrior might do to their ride, I think adds some individuality. So if that occurs on units for my mercs, I'm okay with it. So in that case, we've got the Crusader, and we've explained a little bit about my custom merc unit. I think that is the heavy. I think this is going to be the light that we're getting into here. So let's see what we got. Struggling. All right. What is this? Oh, he would send me a mech that I'm... Oh! Ha! All right. I didn't recognize it. It's a Greyhound from Mech Bay Podcast. Oh, how clever. Yeah, very cool. Nice. I don't know if Mech Bay actually follows my channel, but that's their mech. I was talking to Bobby about maybe working with me as a sponsorship for the channel on getting some custom TRO artwork made and some mechs for my custom merc unit and the armed painter specifically, kind of like the mech base guy here. It hasn't gone anywhere yet, but we have talked about it. I've been toying with the idea because of where I work. I can work with Austin, and you know, he can do the 3D designs, and, you know, probably not charge me because I work there. And then we'll recoup some costs for the sales, and I'll paint them up and stuff like that, or paint some up for photography and stuff like that. So yeah, as a concept, but in this case, this is the Greyhounds. If you don't recognize it, this is the Mech Bay Podcast exclusive mech that is available from Fortress Miniatures and Games. And we did the 3D design of that and produced it in-house. And I don't remember who did the TRO artwork. So if one of the Mech Bay guys is following, Denim or Josh Varga, feel free to sign off below with who did the art if you're interested in sharing. Moving along here, we've got 2 mechs left. I don't think he did a breakdown with weight classes, so maybe these are going to be all unexpected. Let's see what we've got here for next one. I think this is Cyclops. The fin, I think, gives it away. And then his face. Yep. Boom. Yeah, we got us a Cyclops here. Nice. Boom. Very cool. Dig the Cyclops. Got the canopy there to be a different color. We'll have to figure out what we do for basing. Got the colors matching the army. We got our red dots here and so forth. Very cool. I really like how the metallic turned out. The one downside to trying to hit this with a matte varnish is it's going to tone down that metallic, which is unfortunate. But yeah, very cool. Very cool. This will probably have to be the Lance Leader. That'll be Lance Leader. The Cyclops. The Cyclops. And last but not least, let's see what this little guy is. I think this is an old school Orion. I think I can see through that, and I think this is going to be an old school Orion. We'll see. It's not an old school Orion. It is a new Orion. In the bubble wrap, looking through, he looked a little bit daintier. But no, it's the new one. And this is, visually speaking, I don't know why it's one of my favorite looking mechs. Not just because Alec Pander Perskinski, you know, the supreme blood-named galactic nebula star general of the third binary trinary star in the nebula galaxy of the Horsehead something or other. Alexander Kerensky, or who's the other guy? Whatever. One of the Kerenskys piloted. I just trolled myself into forgetting his freaking first name. There's Alexander and something else, I think. Man, I feel like I should know that name. I should know it, but whatever. Anyway, he piloted an Orion, and that is not why I like it, though. I like it because of the asymmetry. It's a very cool-looking design. Like, legs and stuff are symmetrical, but then you get the two arms that are different. You get the shoulder rocket pods and the interesting torso with the guns and stuff in here. Like, the Orion's just a cool-looking mech. The asymmetry makes it more interesting to me. It's some of my favorite mech designs are asymmetrical. Hunchback, for example. One of my favorites. I say that in my previous unboxing video for Nova stuff, I was raving over the clan mechs for, you know, why I like, you know, the Timberwolf, the Mad Dog, the Loki, or Summoner, or Hellbringer, or Summoner, and Thor, like, you know, getting the names in there for you guys. You know, and none of those are all generally pretty mostly symmetrical. I guess the Hellbringer and the Summoner aren't. Their torsos and stuff are different, but the Mad Dog and the Mad Cat are pretty symmetrical. So I say that, and there are, you know, other mechs that are symmetrical I do like, but I feel like a lot of my favorites end up being these asymmetrical ones, and the Orion is very cool. So that's awesome. Bob, thank you. That's pretty awesome. I was going to be taking some of my Faria Phasma to put into the Nova box anyway. These might end up there, just so my mercs are represented. But as a recap of what we've got here, Mr. Bob has painted up an Orion, which is the heavy. We've got the Cyclops and an Assault, the Greyhound, which I don't know if that's a medium or a light. And then we've got the Crusader, which I think might be in heavy. Could be medium, but I think it's heavy. Not sure. And then we'll zoom out here and give a one final recap of the totality of what Mr. Bob has sent. In addition to the mercs, one more time, we got the Atlas for Karita. We've got the Dragon for Karita. We've got the Blackjack for Karita. And the Commando for Karita. And yeah, so that's the two lances that Bob painted up for me. That's super awesome. And we've got our little notes as well. I hope you guys enjoyed my my attempted artistic reading of that and checking out the mechs here. If you enjoyed this, make sure you alpha strike that like, subscribe button. Sign off in the comments below if you have any thoughts. If you want to see some of these in person, come out to Nova 2023. I'll be running the alpha strike grinder tables there, the learn to play and open play for Battletech, as well as the Northern Assault 2-day Battletech tournament at the end of August up at Nova Open 2023. If you want to help support the channel, as always, check out Fortress Miniatures and Games. If there's anything at all you're looking for Battletech, if you want to help support my day job, deaththreatdesigns.com. Got coupon codes down in the description below. And finally, if you're interested in getting some paints to paint up your models, check out Monument Hobbies. Link and coupon down below. That's my favorite paints. It's my go-to. I think you'll like them as well. That said, folks, as always, if I don't sign off now, you know I'll continue to ramble. I'll find something to talk about, so let's go ahead and shut me up. As always, keep rolling those dice, keep painting your models, and I will catch you guys next time.